just as a comedian, but also as a passionate Telangana. So those of you who probably know India but don't know much about Telangana, we are the youngest state of India, and I would like to call my state the most successful state of independent India, which is the last 78 years. Why do I say that? Let me just quickly add a few pointers for you. Those who probably know about technology, those who work in the technology industry, or those who work closely with the technology industry,
would know that our capital city of the state of Telangana,
Hyderabad, is one of the most important hubs for technology in the world. A few decades ago, there was no Telangana. We were formed as a new state in 2014.
It was nothing short of nothing but a broad demarcation of a geographical landmass, but it also created an opportunity for a young state in India to start with a clean slate, to start, without any baggage. And that's exactly what we did over the last 10 years. I was part of the government from 2014 until 2023 December as a minister representing multiple portfolios, including urban development, technology, industry, commerce, handlooms, textiles, etc., etc. So I speak from about 10 years of experience in a new state of India. Now, building up a social public movement with such high velocity as was done in the case of formation of Telangana, literally gives you hope that after Gandhi, after Pandit Nehru, and what all they had to do during India's independence movement, there are still possibilities and more, even in independent India, to achieve your dreams and to achieve your ambition through democratic struggle. One of the things I would like to quickly point out, Darwin's theory, they say, survival of the fittest. What makes Telangana special? What is so good about Telangana? We have done a number of things which probably have not been seen in any state in independent India in the last 78 years. How many of you in this room probably know? I am not sure. But if you just pull out your phone and probably type in Google, you just do a quick search in Google, world's largest lift irrigation project. The world's largest lift irrigation project, a multi-stage lift irrigation project. Now, many of us in this room, I'm sure, have heard of the Three Gorges Dam in China and how the Chinese execution and how quickly they move when it comes to how agile they are when it comes to execution, etc. But if you just Google the world's largest lift irrigation project, you would realize that it is in India and it is in my state, Telangana, and it was built within 3 years of time. Now, we lift water from about 80 meters above sea level all the way to 618 meters above sea level and irrigate nearly 45 lakh acres every single season. Now, this also is something that goes to show you that even in a democracy, a vibrant democracy, infrastructure projects can be made to happen in a timely manner. Of course, meeting with all the resistors, all the potential challenges, potential impediments, etc., we were able to deliver. Not only the world's largest lift irrigation project, but we are also the first state in India to have completed a massive project with almost $7 billion US, ensuring that every single home in Telangana, which is about 10 million homes, are provided with a portable drinking water connection. Now, this might sound like, in the first world, it might sound like something trivial, but in a country like India, where we have a lot of room to grow and a lot of things to improve, this is by no means a small achievement. Likewise, let me also share quickly the world's largest campuses of Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Meta as it's called, and the most valued technology companies in the world, including Apple, Salesforce, ServiceNow, Novartis, Medtronic, all of their largest campuses outside of the US and outside of their headquarters are today in my state, my city, Hyderabad. And this is not a call center or a support center I'm talking about. This is cutting-edge technology development that's happening in India, in my city, Hyderabad, and the landscape and the way it changed over the last 10 years is nothing short of incredible. The story is nothing short of incredible. One of the things I'd like to point out, just so that we talk numbers quite often. Have you heard of any state or country which has seen 156% growth in its per capita over the last 1 decade? Now that's Telangana for you. We were ranked among Indian states, ranked 12 in 2014, but as of today, we're ranked number 1 in India in terms of per capita income, raising from 114,000 Indian rupees to now almost 400,000 Indian rupees. Now this is the kind of progress that has been achieved by a young state in India, which has really dispelled the notion that there are the red tape and the challenges that are typically associated with doing business in India, and also the challenges that are typically associated with ensuring that we deliver. Now, just to expand on a bit on technology, not only did we attract large number of tech companies to Hyderabad, to Telangana and to India, we also made sure that we provided enough and more jobs to the local youth and local youngsters. The number of jobs when we assumed office in 2014 in tech industry alone was about 323,000. But by the time we relinquished office, that rose almost to 1 million, a whopping 10 lakh jobs. Now, also, that reflects in the numbers and performance of our technology exports. When we assumed office, the technology exports from Telangana were about 56,000 crores of Indian rupees. 56,000 crores of Indian rupees. By the time we left office, it was almost 241,000 plus 2,00,000 crores of Indian rupees. So the kind of progress that was achieved, the kind of delivery that was made possible by our leader, Shri KTR, who was the first Chief Minister of Telangana and who was also the leader of the nation for about 14 years before Telangana became a reality, is a shining example of how to adapt, how to, like I said, Darwin's theory of evolution, survival of the fittest, as they say. If you have to theorize and if you have to probably translate into how things can also happen in governance, Telangana is a shining example. Likewise, let me also quickly add, disruption, is a word typically associated with the tech industry and the tech world. A lot of people think disruption typically means a tech startup, but disruption can also happen in governance. That's exactly what Telangana has shown you. For the last 78 years, we have the same set of officers, the bureaucrats, the civil servants, which by the way is a legacy from England, the ICS and the IAS and the IPS and the IFS, the Indian Foreign Service, Administrative Service, Police Service, Fire Service, etc., etc., is a legacy that India had gotten post-independence. The officers have not changed. The red tape, of course, has come down a big time, but in Telangana, we are ranked today as the state with the most ease of doing business in the country, as per Government of India and Niti Aayog. And there is a reason why we have been able to achieve that. The reason being, with the same set of officers, with the same set of people, with the same set of bureaucracy, our leader, Shri KCR, has chosen to disrupt the way we governed and disrupt the way we actually brought out laws and legislations. The first piece of legislation I will talk about quickly is something called as the TS-IPAS. Now the TS-IPAS literally is, it abbreviates for Telangana State Industrial Project Approval Self-Certification System. Anyone in this room, for instance, wanted to launch operations in India, and if you had to choose a state, because India is a very diverse country where everything changes every 100 kilometers. India is a country, for those of you who are not familiar, with 22 official languages and 300 unofficial languages, some of which even do not have a script. And for those of you who are wondering, these 22 official languages actually are as different from one another as are probably English and German and French. So India is a very, very interesting, very, very diverse country. It's more like Europe. It's United States of India with a European sort of composition and a very diverse country. Now the reason why I say all this is because when you start making investment decisions by drawing simpler comparisons, say to a large country like China and India, you'd probably be ending up confused. Because China is a country which has got a lot of homogeneity. It's a country where language and a lot of other things are common across the nation. But in India, like I said, everything changes every 100 kilometers. Therefore, it's important to understand the policies of states where you would want to engage, where you would want to set up a base, and where you would possibly want to enter India through. And Telangana, the policy that I just quickly mentioned to you, TS-IPAS, is probably the most revolutionary policy, revolutionary law by any Indian government in the last 75 years. What are the salient features? I'll just give you three. Any of you in this room, if you wanted to start an enterprise in Telangana, it could be a factory or something in the services industry, you would be surprised to know that you do not need any approval from the government. You can hit the ground running. You can actually start on day one with your factory. You don't need the permission of the local municipality or the village panchayat or even the state government. If you have a piece of land that is already owned by you, if you already are allotted to you, you can start construction on day one. Parallelly, simultaneously, we request that you submit an application online on the TS-IPAS portal. Now what does that do? Once you start operations for regulatory compliance, when we get your information, we promise all clearances in less than 15 days. If you don't deliver on the 15-day window by statute, by law, on the 16th day, it's an automatic approval. No other Indian state has this kind of a feature in today's economic landscape. Also, from the 16th day, we take accountability very seriously. So from the 16th day, we actually also penalize our bureaucrats a sum of rupees 1,000 per day if they are held responsible for the delay. Again, no other Indian state has done this kind of bold, adventurous policy making. In case you're wondering, this guy is a politician, how do I trust him? Let me tell you, more than 28,000 clearances have been given in the last 10 years through TS-IPAS. We've been able to raise more than 3.5 lakh crores of investment into Telangana and have been able to create 24 lakh direct jobs, which is about 2.4 million direct job potential in our state. And that, again, ties back to the explosive growth that we had in the technology sector, from 300,000 jobs to 1 million jobs, from 57,000 crores of IT exports to 2,41,000 crores IT exports, and also the ability to attract the world leaders like Apple, Google, Microsoft, Amazon to set up their largest base outside of the US and outside of their headquarters in my state. In summary, I'll just say one thing. Telangana today, if you ask me to sum up in one word or one sentence, how do you define the kind of development that we've had? I'd say a fine balance of welfare, development, an integrated, holistic, and a very inclusive approach is what makes Telangana special. We believe in maximizing governance and minimizing government. We believe in ensuring that process becomes the key and not the person. We believe in institutionalizing the change and not centering our decision-making around individuals. And that's what makes Telangana truly a special story. And I do believe there are enough and more learnings for the rest of India to learn from Telangana, to see how you can raise from rank 12 to rank 1 in per capita, in GSDP, in creating wealth, in distributing it to the downtrodden, to making sure that inclusive infrastructure growth also happens on an equitable, in an equitable fashion. So I thank Bridge India for this lovely opportunity. I sincerely hope that all of you have a great experience here, and I do hope you continue to invest in India and continue to pick progressive states like Telangana, which truly are the lighthouses for the country and possibly by extension to large chunks of the world as well. Thank you very much.